Hello and a very good afternoon to you all. Welcome to the official channel of Rahul's IAS. I am Kriti and in today's session I am going to discuss a relevant case under the Civil Procedure Code, specifically focusing on Order 2 Rule 2 of the CPC, a rule that deals with the splitting of cause of action. The case law that I'll be discussing today is the landmark decision given in the case of Cuddalore Power Gen Corporation Limited versus Chemplast Cuddalore. So before we jump into the case, let's quickly review that what Order 2 Rule 2 of the CPC is all about. This rule primarily addresses the situation where a party omits to sue for a part of the claim or relief that could not have been raised in an earlier suit. The rule reads as where a plaintiff fails to sue for the entire claim in a single suit, they cannot subsequently file a new suit for the omitted part. In simple words, if you have multiple claims arising out of the same cause of action, you must bring them all in one suit. If you don't, you could be barred from bringing a second suit for the remaining claim. Now, let's move on to discuss the facts of Cuddalore Power Gen case. In this case, the plaintiff had entered into an agreement with the defendant to purchase property worth rupees 1,50,000. To facilitate the registration of the sale deed, the defendant executed an irrevocable power of attorney in the favor of the plaintiff, which was duly registered. However, the defendant later revoked the power of attorney and issued a demand draft for the agreed amount to the plaintiff, but he insisted that the defendant fulfills the agreement by executing the sale deed. However, the sub registrar refused to register the deed due to a 1986 government order reserving the land for a thermal power station. Consequently, in 2008, the High Court quashed the government order, allowing the possibility of registering this deed. The plaintiff then filed a second suit seeking specific performance of the sale agreement, declaring the deed to a third party as void and obtaining an injunction against interference with their possession. The appellant in the present case, that is a third party buyer, contended that the second suit was barred under Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC. The trial court and the first appellate court in this case rejected the plaint, but the High Court, in an ex parte decision, restored the plaint, ruling that the suit was not barred and could proceed. So now, the core issue in this case was whether the principles enumerated under Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC barred the institution of a second suit and warranted rejection of the plaint filed by the plaintiff. Now, let's dive directly into the most crucial part of this case, that is the observations. One of the first observations made by the court in the present judgment was regarding the general principles underlining Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC. The court in the present case provided an in-depth explanation of Order 2, Rule 2, which is intended to prevent the filing of multiple suits for the same cause of action. The court pointed out that the provision is based on two principles, that is, preventing the splitting of claims and preventing the splitting of remedies, which means that the plaintiff should not be forced to file multiple suits for different aspects of the same issue, thus ensuring efficiency in the litigation. This court also clarified that Order 2, Rule 2 will only bar the filing of a second suit if it arises from the same cause of action as the first. Moving on, further, this court also explained the meaning of the term cause of action and defined it as the set of facts that the plaintiff must prove to support their claim in order to obtain a favorable judgment. While elaborating this, the court referred to the case of Muhammad Khalil Khan versus Mehboob Ali, wherein the Privy Council explained that a cause of action is made up of facts that, if transversed, the plaintiff would need to prove in order to win its case. The court also addressed the situation where a plaintiff omits to claim a specific relief in a suit. If the plaintiff leaves out a potential relief, they may be allowed to file a subsequent suit for the omitted relief, but only under specific conditions. The court then turned to the interpretation of the phrase cause of action in the context of Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC and examined whether a second suit be filed when the cause of action in the first and the second suit are different. The court clarified that for Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC to apply, the cause of action must be identical and not just similar. The defendant must also demonstrate that the second suit arises from the same set of facts as the first suit. If the facts and the evidences needed to support the second suit are different from the first, the second suit would be based on a different cause of action and not be barred by Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC. Further, in this case, the court also reiterated the observations in the case of Gurbaksh Singh versus Bhuralal, where the court emphasized that Order 2, Rule 2 should not be invoked lightly. To successfully argue that this provision applies, the defendant must show that the cause of action in both the first and the second suit are identical. After discussing these principles, the court summarized the key guidelines for interpreting Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC, which reads as follows. So, the court held that the primary purpose of Order 2, Rule 2 is to prevent multiple suits from the same cause of action. Second, the rule mandates that all claims arising from the same cause of action must be included in one suit. However, it does not require that all cause of action arising from the same transaction be combined in one suit. Third, the cause of action refers to the facts that must be proven to support the plaintiff's claim and is the foundation of the legal action. Fourth, to determine the applicability of Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC, one must evaluate whether the claims in the second suit arise from a distinct cause of action with different evidences required to support them. Fifth, the defendant seeking to apply the bar under Order 2, Rule 2, Subrule 3 must establish three things. First, that the second suit arises from the same cause of action as the first. Second, that the plaintiff was entitled to more than one relief. And third, that the plaintiff intentionally omitted to claim the relief in the first suit without obtaining leave from the court. Sixth, the defendant must prove the earlier plaint in evidence to prove that the cause of action in both the suits are identical and that the plaintiff deliberately omitted a relief. Lastly, this court observed that since Order 2, Rule 2 is a technical bar, the defendant must prove its applicability clearly and it cannot be inferred based on general assumptions or reasoning. Now, moving on, this court also made another observation wherein it was pointed out that Order 2, Rule 2 does not impose any restriction on the applicability of the principles therein based on the status or stage of the first suit. This court held that, and I quote, there is no clear requirement that the first suit either be pending or disposed of in order to make a plea of bar under Order 2, Rule 2. As regards the subsequent suit, it is conspicuous by the absence of such a stipulation that the lawmakers thought fit that the bar under this provision would apply if there is an identity in the causes of action of both suits, and irrespective of whether the first suit is disposed of or not. Lastly, this court also pointed out that the plaints have to be read as a whole to determine the applicability of bar under Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC for the purpose of rejection of plaint under Order 7, Subrule 11, Clause D. It was observed that the plaint should be read as a whole for the purpose of rejection of plaint and in order to sustain a successful plea under this provision. It must be deduced whether the cause of action in both the suits are identical in substance. Now, while applying these principles to the fact of the present case, this court highlighted a significant oversight by the trial court that it failed to consider whether the relief of the specific performance and the cancellation of the sale deed executed in favor of the appellant were available to the plaintiff at the time of the filing of the first suit. This was crucial as there was a government order which prohibited the registration of the sale deed. And these legal impediments made it impossible for the plaintiff to seek the relief they desired at the time of the first suit. In this light, the court explored the concept of entitled to and the availability of reliefs in the context of Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC, and clarified that Order 2, Rule 2 prevents a plaintiff from filing a second suit based on the same cause of action for any relief or portion that they were entitled to at the time of filing the first suit. However, the court also acknowledged that there could be situations where a plaintiff may be entitled to a relief but it was not available due to external circumstances at the time of filing of the first suit. In such cases, Order 2, Rule 2 should not be applied in a purely technical manner, for which reference was made to the view taken by the court in the case of Ramjilal versus Board of Revenue. Thus, this court observed in the present case that the plaintiff had not intentionally abandoned any part of their claim or omitted to seek a relief they could have obtained. Furthermore, the court noted that the situation in this case differed from those where statutory permission or sanction is required for a sale deed to be registered, as in such cases, a court could grant a conditional degree for specific performance contingent on obtaining the necessary permission or sanction. However, in this case, there was an absolute ban on the registration of the sale deed, which meant a suit for specific performance would have been futile at that time of the first suit. Thus, in conclusion, the court agreed with the High Court's view that Order 2, Rule 2 did not apply in this case and ordered for the restoration of the plaint in the second suit. So, these were the broad observations given by the court in this case, emphasizing the principle behind Order 2, Rule 2 of the CPC. That is, if the claims arise from same set of facts, they should be raised together. This is all from my side. I hope that you liked the brief summary of this case. Thank you for watching. See you next time.